Hello everybody, welcome back to the Overdose on Reality YouTube channel. For those who are just watching the channel for the first time, when I was 19 years old, I was charged with attempted murder after being addicted to drugs for several years, and I was facing 90 years in prison, beat an attempted murder, but pled out to lesser charges, got sentenced to 7 years, and then went home and changed my life around. And I just got released from parole last year after being on parole for about 5 years. So I'm just starting this channel now, and welcome. And shout out to everyone on Patreon. Shout out to my VIPs, Christos, Dimas. Shout out to Rebecca Gulliver, and also the people on the $10 tier, Lori Lynn and Tanya Sullivan. And to all the other Patreons, I love all you guys. Thank you so much for the extra support. And today's video is going to be one of my favorite videos. So just kind of recap what's been going on in the last video that I did. I actually just filmed it a couple minutes ago. I'm feeling in a good talkative mood, so I'm going to try and do another video right now. So that video was about I got sent back to a county jail from prison due to overcrowded prison populations. I got sent to a county jail to finish the rest of my prison sentence. So if you guys are just seeing this for the first time too, I would recommend going all the way back to the first video and just kind of checking out my story, what happened to me as a kid to lead up to me being a drug addict, the drug addiction progressing and then leading into crimes, and then leading up to when I caught my attempted murder. Also, I have the video about the night that I got arrested. It's up on Patreon right now. I wish I could post it to YouTube, but I'm just not comfortable doing that because it involves crime and whatnot. So if you guys want to go check that out, you can sign up for $3 a month. So let's get into the story. So the jail that I got sent to finish out my prison sentence was Juneau County Jail. It's in Boston, Wisconsin, about 4 hours south from where I live. And the jail was way better than the jail that I did my 14 months in before I got sentenced. But I still would have rather went to a prison because I could have gone outside every day, and I could have, went to the rec yard, worked out on the rec yard outside, done some programs, got my GED in there. But they don't offer any of these programs in jail, or you can't go outside in the jail, at least not the ones in northern Wisconsin. So the jail still ended up being pretty nice, though. We had one thing that was nice is we had a lot of channels, since we were kind of further south towards the big cities. The jail that I was in, firstly, way up north, we only had like 20 or something channels, just local channels. And at this new jail, we had all the music channels, lots of channels to watch movies and all that stuff. So that was super nice. And then the commissary was a little cheaper, but other than that, everything was pretty much the same. Just doing hard time in jail. Spent a lot of time just playing cards all day. We would work out every day after dinner at 5:30. We would put on the music channel and everyone would work out doing burpees, push-ups, dips off the sink, sit-ups, all that sort of stuff. And that's pretty much what I did for the last, 9 months of my sentence. And I met a lot of cool dudes in there. Some people who I'm still in contact with to this day. Pretty much everyone that I've talked to has stayed out of jail and stayed off drugs, so I'm proud of those people. And we are getting to the point in the story where I was getting very, very overwhelmed every single day as the months would count down. I got released in October, so as April rolled around, I'm like, dang, I'm so close to going home. As May comes around, I'm getting more nervous. Every single month until I came home was very nerve-wracking because for those who are familiar with my story, I had kind of been on crazy substances ever since I was even an adult, or 17. So I never really had like an adult mind process out on the streets. So I had to go home and be an adult. And everyone from my hometown thought that I was like some sort of serial killer because the jail, everyone around here checks the jail roster. And I was charged with attempted murder, which eventually got dismissed, by the way. But they don't put statutes like on the jail roster, so it said first degree homicide. So everyone in my town thought that I was like a murderer, and it was crazy. So, but the hardest thing for me going home was having to face that I had like a 2-year-old son who I skipped out on his first couple months that he was alive, because I was running around getting high, running around the streets thinking that I was cool. So I had, I was gonna be a new parent, and my fiance had waited for me throughout the whole thing, which was very amazing of her. She held me down the whole time, and I got to go home and face reality, because being in these institutions, it's completely different world than being on the streets. So as the months counted down, I got more and more nervous, and then the day that I got released was October 19th of 2019, and I don't even know how to say how I felt when I got out. It makes me kind of emotional thinking about it. I couldn't sleep, obviously, at all the night before, and my fiance, she had driven all the 4 hours south down, and she had gotten a hotel like right across the street from the jail. And the day came, and she went to the wrong exit to come and pick me up, so I had to stay in the jail for like an extra hour. They're trying to release me, but they can't release you until like they see the person that's gonna pick you up. They'll write down like the card model and all that stuff, and she went to the wrong exit, so I had to stay for like an extra hour in jail. And I forgot to mention that the way that Wisconsin works is there's something called the mandatory release Tuesday. So no matter what day that you're supposed to get out, they have to release you the Tuesday before then, because if they keep you like days longer than you're supposed to get out, you can sue the jail for like millions of dollars for holding you, it's like false imprisonment basically. So I got released I remember the day that I was supposed to get out was like a Wednesday. Was a Tuesday, so I got out a whole week earlier on the mandatory release Tuesday. So I shaved like 6-7 days off of when I was supposed to get out, which was super nice, by the way. But let's get back into the main story. So she finally comes to the right exit, and I pack up all my stuff. They make you pack up your mattress, and I had all my little pictures that I was gonna bring home and letters and all that sort of stuff, and they were bringing me to the intake processing unit, and I just didn't know how to act, because they were telling me like, put your mattress over here, and I like tried to put it down, and it like flopped and fell off the thing. I just couldn't control my body because it's such a profound feeling. Going back into society after being incarcerated for years, it's an insane feeling that I'm trying to find the words to explain it to you guys, but I can't. I'm just gonna try and do my best. But I remember they finally, they gave me my street clothes. Your people, they have to send you an outfit to wear to get it for when you get out, and everything fit really nicely. I wasn't wearing these prison scrubs anymore, and yeah, I felt good, and they let me out the door, and I immediately just ran up to the car, and you guys can probably guess what happened then. We haven't seen each other in a couple years, and then we got breakfast, and then left the hotel, and then got back on the road. And I remember she brought me a little phone to set up. I had been asking her, dude, I wanted a phone right away, because I hadn't seen a phone or when I watched a YouTube video or listened to my own music in, over 2 years. So the whole ride back, it was like a 4-hour ride back, I was trying to set up this phone, and technology felt so foreign to me. And being in a car too felt insane. She was going the speed limit, which is like 70, 75 on Interstate 35 going north, and I just felt like we were going like 200 miles an hour. Kept asking her to slow down, and we would stop at gas stations, and I kept telling myself that I was gonna go inside, but I didn't because I was freaked out. And we got back and we went to my grandma's house, and I saw my grandma, who is a really big, important figure in my life. And one of my biggest fears was that she was going to pass away when I was incarcerated. And I'm so glad that the universe did not let that happen. And she's still alive to this day. So thank you to whoever's out there orchestrating this whole thing. So we got to see my grandparents, which was awesome. And then I don't know, we just went home, and I don't know, I was really overstimulated though, because we started to see her like family members and stuff, and it's kind of hard to face people because the last time that they had seen me before I got arrested, I was like a walking stick figure. I was 6 feet tall and like 130 pounds of just straight bones, and I was robbing people and neglecting my family and neglecting my son, who had just been born. And so they all didn't like me, of course, which is rightfully so, because if I was in their footsteps, I couldn't blame them. Going what I went through now, I do have sympathy for people who are in active addiction, but if you haven't experienced it yourself, then you don't know that drugs will literally possess you like a demon. So anyways, I was just trying to face everyone who I had let down before, and my new mission is to try and get a second chance from these people and show them that I was a changed person. And a lot of people didn't believe in me, and that's rightfully so. I don't blame them, because the statistics don't look very good for drug addicts. I think it's like 80 or 90% of people never recover, and they just stay in active addiction or they die. So the statistics weren't looking good for me, but I was determined to show everyone that they were wrong. And I think that's where we're going to leave off today. I'm sure there's going to be a million things that I wish that I would have said during this video, but we'll leave that in the next video. The story doesn't end here, everybody. Lots of crazy things still happened to me after I got released from prison. And I've said this before, but I have a bunch of different stories from when I was in active addiction, or even like a teenager doing drugs. Crazy stuff happening. So stay tuned. The channel is we're gonna keep going. And to everyone who's new here, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please go back and check out my old videos. And for everyone who's been here for a while, thank you guys. I love you guys. To everyone, stay out of jail and don't do drugs. See ya.